Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be putting back this Fender Square. I've had this guitar for many years and I just thought it's been disassembled like this for a little bit because life got in the way and I just really want to paint it. So I just thought I'd do a quick assembly video on it and how it all went. This is the body of it. As you can see, it's a shoddy paint job, but I'm not really a painter. One thing that I really want to do with this, and one thing that as to why it's a bit of a shoddy paint job, is is because all I did was take all the hardware off, as you can see, take it to the shed, a few coats of a spray paint can over it so it'll chip really easy, and that's kind of the point. I wanted to do one that I wanted to kind of have not a permanent paint job on it. I know you're supposed to sand it properly, I know you're supposed to, you know, sand and paint over it and coat, clear coat and all that sort of thing. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted it to take wears and tears and like start chipping and stuff like that. And plus, if I ever do want to in the future, I can just take it all apart again and spray paint it again. So with it not being a permanent paint job, I'm quite happy with it. That is really shiny on the camera. Wow. Anyway, just thought I'd do a quick little video on me assembling it and what my plans for it were originally. And this, I did think about this for a little bit, because when I took the pit guard off, which I'll show you in just a sec, I realised it's a HSH configuration. And for those who don't know what that is, it means that the pickup cavities here can accommodate different pickups. HSH meaning humbucker, single coil, and humbucker. A humbucker is typically what you'll find on a Les Paul style guitar, or a Flying V, something like that. I don't actually have one here to show you, but these are big enough to accommodate a humbucker. This is big enough to accommodate a single coil. So when I realised that, I thought, I could buy another scratch plate, stick it in here and have whatever I like into it. I didn't decide to go for that because literally I've put in maybe £2 into this, just the paint job alone. No, I tell a lie, I didn't put £2 into it. Basically, I had to buy a new input jack on Amazon, only because I lost it. Well, I got lost as I was doing this. But here's the original pit guard, and this is what I kind of liked about it. I painted this years ago, and all I had to do was, you know, take the pickups out and, you know, unscrew it all, and this is just a piece of plastic that you can see. And also all I had to do was, I spray painted gold, as you can tell by the stripes, and painted black all over it, and again, I didn't sand it over, and that's kind of why I wanted to, you know, do this look, because it just looks, you know, kind of, I don't know, I like the natural relic in its head. So yeah, just thought I'd do a quick video on putting it together and that. And one thing I should point out, there's going to be no soldering because I'm not confident enough to solder. Never really been that good at it. So, and if you ever do wish to paint over it again, it'll just be easier, so I'm not knacking the wires out or anything like that. Also, one thing that I should point out, and what's most well, what most people will have realised by now, there's no shielding. Normally with Stratocasters or any guitar that will really have single coils, it should be shielded the inside. I mean, with either copper tape or aluminium. I've seen someone on YouTube do it with aluminium foil. Don't know how well that works. I don't know how effective that is. But if I was gonna do it, I'd do it that way. But like I said, if I was going to put shielding in the cavity and all that, if I ever came to paint it again or do another modification on it, I'd have to rip that out, and that's just, again, it's not really something I'm too concerned about or too bothered about. This is basically just, you know, just a bit of a fun project that I wanted to do. I just thought, you know, a little project guitar, thought I'd share it with you, and yeah, I've got all the parts here. I've already done the neck, as you can see. I did the neck off camera before because, to be honest, I didn't know if it needed it or not. I just gave the frets a polish over, which if you see in my previous videos, I go over the frets with just a bit of steel wool and a fret guard and that. The tuning heads are actually, you know, quite good. Like, these are all original tuning. Like, I've not played this guitar like massively, but yeah, the tuning heads are actually quite good. So again, further on down the line, if I want to replace them, I replace them. If I don't want to, I won't. But yeah, I try to keep most of it. I try to keep most of it original anyway, or some of it original. I know I just said most of it original. I painted the body, but you know. So I think what I'm going to start off with is the bridge. Okay, so here I am putting the bridge on. One thing I should say right away is that during the process I did lose some of the screws and stuff. So I think in the future I will replace the hardware and will buy the hardware, but for now this is just good enough. I'm only putting 2 screws into the bridge because that's all I really need. And yeah, so like I said before, I'm not really a fan of soldering. I can't really solder, so one thing I have done off camera, which you'll see coming up, is the ground wire that goes into the back onto this claw part here, which you can see I've not taped it off. I've just gone for it. I forgot to take the claw out, to be honest. I didn't think too much of it. There should be a wire that goes right into that claw part, and there's a little blob of solder where it used to be soldered onto. Basically what I did, I wrapped the wire around one of the holes, which is just underneath the screw, and I took the claw off and wrapped it with electrical tape. Here you can just see me banging the screws in, because I'm just lazy. But yeah, so I used electrical tape and wrapped it around, and that here you see the block that I put in again off camera because I realised it was the other way around. That's why it wasn't going in as much. Here I go struggling. And because I don't really use a whammy bar, I just find that it doesn't stay in tune, and I've just not really been a fan of it. really. So yeah, I don't use them when buying this. I've turned it to a stock tailpiece. And here I am now, about to put the pick guard on. And with the pick guard, I made a note. It's not on camera at the minute, but I made a bit of a note as to which to go to the input jack, and or which configuration to go into. So I'm alright with that, I know that. And here's me just feeding a wire through and worrying about that later. All I'm really doing here is just feeding the wires through, so the pick guard can sit on the body guitar. One thing that this guitar's always done, and I've never really understood why, as you can see there, the wobble as I'm putting it on, I've always took the wires in. For some reason, it always wobbles and bobbles about. So that's just an indication to me that everything is in the right place, and I can adjust the pickups, I can adjust everything around, and it'll be fine. Okay. Here we go. So this is the part where, as I just said before, that I taped the claw in the back, and you'll see it pop up in a little bit. But yeah, I'm just going to twist the wires and loop them around the output jack. This will be fine, as long as the output jack is tight to the base plate. It won't be rattling around, and it won't come undone. And even if it does come undone, it'll be easy. I can put some heat shrink tubing. That's something I was considering doing, but again, like, I'll just be putting some electrical tape around it, and it should be fine. It should work. Like I said, I had to buy this output jack again because I lost it in the process, and because the tangs were still full of solder. I wasn't even sure if it was going to work again, like I say. So this is the only part I've actually bought for it. Like I said, I wanted to keep this a cheap little project for myself. I didn't want to spend a ton of money on it. It was just something that I thought I could just go for and do. I can take it apart, paint it and do something else, or later on down the line I can buy a new pick guard for it and put that on and just basically play about with it. So here's me putting the screws on to the output jack, and it was a bit of a tight fit. I did have to measure up before I bought them. I used a digital caliper to make sure it fit, so I was a bit anxious about it not fitting, but it turns out it's fine. No problems with it whatsoever. And it's like I said, like, there's been a lot of hardware on this guitar that I've lost. Well, I keep saying I've lost a lot of hardware on it, basically just the screws and stuff like that. So at one point in the future I will be buying it and replacing it and stuff, but the reason as to why I've done such a shoddy job on it, like I said, I just wanted it to relic a bit more and be a bit more natural with it, and plus I can just scrape the paint off if I want to. It's not going to be so much of a big deal if I want to do it again, but I kind of like the idea of a purple and black guitar, so hence why I went for purple and black. As you can see there, I'm just wobbling the pick guard because, like I say, the pick guard's always kind of wobbled. It's always just been in that way. So I kind of know it's alright, and as long as the screw holes line up, I know I can just put it in. So I think I'm only missing a few screws really on the pick guard. Bit of a long story with it. When I first got the guitar, I did actually make a full wooden pick guard, which I'm actually considering doing again for a future video. Because all I really did was have to trace the pick guard, cut the pick guard, sand it down and all that, and I made it out of really crappy kind of MDF wood that just splintered everywhere. Again, I was a younger teen when I did it, so, and I thought it was just a cool look. I think that's kind of why I lost up most of the screws. Like, I never just played the thing, I messed about with the thing. So, yeah, so here I am just putting the last bit of the screws in. I'm trying to make sure that I get all the corners in, because the last thing I really want to do, especially when I'm playing, is have the pick guard catch on anything, like, you know, turn one of the knobs and the pick guard comes up. So I'm basically doing, as you can see, I'm doing like the corners, make sure the corners are tied down, well, screwed down. I'm just making sure that it's at least a little bit flat. I'm not too worried about the part that's on, the part that I'm doing now. The part of the pick guard is close to it, because it's the body's there, so it's not really going to catch anything. It's more or less the outer parts where I'm afraid of it catching and stuff like that. So there we go. That's the pick guard on. You can see there where I've just gone around with the tape on the claw part just to ground it so I don't get any buzzing. I'm just showing you around what I've done already and what there is to do. And as I peel this tape off here, you can see what the original colour of it was. It was a nice sunburst kind of colour, which is kind of why I want to do this relic as well, or, well, not relic, but kind of why I want to do this paint job as well, because underneath it is just a natural wood colour, with the finish on it and stuff like that. So I know this paint will chip off, I know it will come right off, and again, that's kind of why I want to do it. It's going to look kind of interesting and nice. It'll take on the characteristic of how I play. It'll take on, you'll see all the, you know, scratches and dents just from how you play and stuff like that. And yeah, I only put it on there just so I can't remember what it's called. The plate doesn't stick to it. The plate that is in between the body and the screws on the back there. Here I am fitting the neck onto it. I'm realising what I'm doing. Yep. So you always want to make sure you have a towel down. I mean, I'm using my kitchen work surface for this, because it's only supposed to be a quick little project, but you've got to make sure you put a towel down, because you don't want to scratch the surface of your kitchen. Whoever you live with will not be happy when there's scratch marks all over it. So there's me just putting the first screw in and putting the base screw in. I know it's a bit of a solid fit, or a bit of a loose fit, but I'm only doing this to make sure that the screws bite down. Again, like, this guitar's been apart for a little bit, so I'm just going to stand it up, do a quick check. Yep, that looks fine. And I didn't realise I was out of shot for this. I was too busy trying to focus on screwing it in. But yeah, I didn't realise I was out of shot for it. But this guitar did come together quite quickly, and it did come together quite nicely and stuff like that. I didn't have anything to really double check, triple check. I didn't have to. I kind of took my time with it, really. And like I said, if anything in the future, I'll be spray painting it again. I can just take it apart again. But also, I'm just looking forward to playing it again and seeing what I can get up to with it. Because it is actually quite a nice guitar. And I've just had it in a drawer for a little bit. Here we go. Have I just finished screwing it? Yeah. So yeah, here we go, the finished product. I really like how this came out. I really do like how the black and the purple collide together. It's a bit punk rock, if I do say so myself. Yeah, it's just a really, really nice guitar. Feels great. I will be stringing it up in another video and playing it in another video, just to see what it sounds like, just see what it's like again. But yeah, this is the whole thing complete, and the whole thing ready to work. If you did like this video, please comment, like, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Thank you very much.